And what does that do to your carbon dioxide? It's going to do what to it? It's going to increase it. So take note of the fact that with a snail or any other kind of animal, if it breathes into a B&B solution, what will it do with the carbon dioxide? It will increase it. And what's the plant going to do? If you put a plant in a B&B solution, it's going to decrease it. So keep that in mind. Okay, now here's where the questions get a little tricky, because we have to keep in mind that while plants do perform photosynthesis and they're able to make their own food, plants also need to live just a little bit like we do. And what makes plants similar to us are that they're also going to have to perform a similar process that we do when it comes to breaking down glucose. Now, believe it or not, here's where the trick question comes in. What reaction are plants going to perform to break down glucose? Very similar to what we do, believe it or not. What process will plants perform to break down glucose? Photosynthesis or cell respiration? Because there are a couple of cases where the plants actually would turn the solution yellow rather than blue. And what would the plant be doing if it turned the solution yellow? What's that? That's right. It's performing cell respiration. Sort of like that old, quote in the Frankenstein movies. It's alive. So basically, plants, while we normally think of them as performing photosynthesis, and don't forget that, plants also can be kind of two-way. They can also perform cell respiration under given circumstances. Now, when it comes to given circumstances, when it comes to the way we can differentiate between whether a plant is performing cell respiration or photosynthesis is the conditions under which it is found. Now, when it came to these test tubes, did we expose them all to the same conditions when we left them over 48 hours? No. Where did we put some of our test tubes?
We put some in the light and some in the dark.
And some were left in the light and some were left under dark conditions. Now, when a plant is under dark conditions, can the plant perform photosynthesis?
No.
And why would that be?
Because it does not have sunlight.
It does not have sunlight. Now, if a plant does not perform photosynthesis and it's in the dark, well, what's it going to be? What operation can it perform under dark conditions, even if it can't perform photosynthesis? That's right. A plant can carry out respiration. Now, one important thing to keep in mind is that when it comes to the plants performing cell respiration, what type of evidence will it give us if they perform cell respiration?
You need them tested?
That's right. What was the evidence that they would give?
Go blue.
Actually, it would go. Actually, you got it right the second time. Very good. Didn't have to take three. Very good. It goes from green to what colored solution? And it's going to go from green to yellow. So, as hard as it is to believe, yes, folks, plants can perform respiration just like we do, although it's not quite as noted. Okay. Now, when it comes to, so basically, can plants perform cell respiration based on what we've seen? Or plants ever perform cell respiration based on what we've now seen and discussed? So under dark conditions, turns the test tube from green to yellow. So can they perform respiration? Can plants perform cell respiration? Okay, seeing clear evidence of that. Very good. Okay, now we're going to be going down a little bit. We're getting close to the end. When it comes to the reactions of photosynthesis and cell respiration, we're going to have to keep in mind the locations that these take place. We will be discussing cell organelles next week when you have me. But basically, when it comes to cell respiration, what part of the cell is respiration going to take place in? That's right. Keep the mitochondria in mind. There are some cells that really need mitochondria in addition to plant cells. What is it that enables me to do this?
Muscles.
That's right. And what type of cells am I putting to some use right now?
I said not.
You have to let me guess. What type of cells am I going to be? What type of cells am I using to keep myself propped up here? That's right. It's the muscle cells, and muscle cells are going to have a good bit of mitochondria. And why are they going to have a lot of mitochondria?
You can get down now.
I know. I'm going to let me down to it. Tell me, why does a muscle cell need a lot of mitochondria? What's it going to
Because they're
do?
working hard at the moment.
That's right, they're working hard. And what are they expending? And what are they expending when they work hard? It starts with an E.
Energy.
That's right, they're expending energy. So keep in mind, cell respiration takes place in the mitochondria, and cells that get a real workout, well, they're going to be expending energy, so they'll need mitochondria big time. Okay, now in addition to cell respiration, where's the photosynthesis going to take place? What cell part does that take place in? Starts with a C, remember? Gives plants their, just, it's a chloroplast. Now keep in mind, why is it that we are not green like the Incredible Hulk? Because what type of a cell organelle do we not have that plants do? And,
Photosynthesis is not a
and
cell.
no.
What the crap?
It's the organelle that photosynthesis takes place in. That's right, it's the chloroplast. Keep in mind, so, sometimes I think it'd be nice to have chloroplast because you don't have to go about trying to grab our food from some other source. But then the big problem is you'd have to be green like the Incredible Hulk. So there are all sorts of trade-offs when it comes to having chloroplast. Or you'd have to be green like that monster that the doctor made, what's his name, I think, Frankenstein, green like him, so keep that in mind. Okay, now, when it comes to a test
See,
tube,
Frankenstein is the name of the doctor.
what's that?
Frankenstein is the name of the doctor.
Actually, that's pretty good. I commend you for going one step further. Your African American has that food to sustain a monster. Okay, we're off track a little bit. Sorry. Okay, now what's going to happen to carbon dioxide levels if we put more plants in the test tube? What's going to happen? What's it going to do to carbon dioxide? That's right, it's going to drop very drastically because what's happening? That's right, photosynthesis is taking place and carbon dioxide level is going down. It's sort of that proverbial line about dropping like flies. Okay, now the last question I have is, now in some cases, we had some problems with some of our solutions because in some cases our test tubes didn't go all that well. Some cases plants died or organisms died off, didn't quite perform what we expected. But what are some variables we did not account for in the experiment that could potentially taint results?